Boy, the games these people play. Sven'gramz, chief on the land. I want you to watch this goddamn video. Enjoy the video. I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. The games that these motherfuckers play. Sven'gramz, chief on the land. Leave it in the comment section. Man, we gotta be bitches. We gotta be a hoe. They gotta be the pimp. We gotta be the hoe. It gotta be. Shit. Check this video out.
You've been able to get away with not paying or filing your income taxes for so long.
Well, first of all, I've not gotten away with anything. I'm not hiding from anyone. I'm simply asking the IRS to show me the laws that apparently require me to do these things, and they are suspiciously reticent to answer questions from me. And of course, there are millions of other people, many other organizations who have attempted to get answers. They act very suspiciously when asked to simply sit down at the table with the American people and discuss what their obligations are. Right. Rather than pulling up a chair, they pull out a club.
These liens that are recorded against people by the government for tax liens are nothing more than allegations. They are non-substantive. They have never been determined by a neutral third party, such as a court, to have one shred of validity.
If you ever get a notice of an audit or anything else, the first thing you should do is a Freedom of Information Act request for records that they're using to substantiate or justify the audit.
There is nothing in the Internal Revenue Code that creates any such thing as an income tax evasion or crime. There's nothing in the code that allows IRS agents to seize property. The government is involved in judicial blackmail. The government knows that if it legally seizes somebody's property, that person doesn't have the funds and he can't even get a lawyer who can help him.
I conducted investigations in the Title 18, the Criminal Code, U.S. Criminal Code. And in there, the statutes and the regulations are very specific as to what's violating the statute. In the Internal Revenue Code, Title 26, there's nothing specific in there. I mean, even the FBI is feared the IRS.
You have to understand that an agency which will unlawfully impose a tax that doesn't exist is not going to care if we, the people, don't know what our rights are. They're not going to tell us.
If Americans just learned that the IRS was actually knowingly deceiving them, that would be enough for them to rise up and put a stop to it.
This small booklet includes the Constitution of the United States, the Bill of Rights, the Declaration of Independence. This is a document that every citizen should read. It's a document which freed an entire nation. This is the Internal Revenue Code, and this document, and the unlawful application of this document by the Internal Revenue Service has enslaved the nation that this document attempted to free.
Boy, if we don't come together, if you got children, I got grandchildren. I'm almost 50 in one more year, going on 49 December the 2nd. I done already had my fun, but that's selfish of me. Nothing will be left for our kids. They're going to be more in the tight and loose. I know your own reality is your own reality, but your kids don't have your mind. When they grow up, everything going to be confined. They growing up until things already being set. They ain't going to have nothing in place where you could reference to the 90s. I could reference to the 80s. They ain't going to have nothing else to reference shit to. So they going to always think shit was supposed to be like this. Think about that. You know, we got to stop being selfish and start thinking about the next generations. 7. Shit. Man, you know, no fear, no lies. Freeing ourselves with all the lies. It's our time. You know, we making our own reality. We are collapsing timelines. We ain't going back to those timelines. We're collapsing them. We're living in the present. We're learning to live in the present. 7. Have a blessed day. Have a blessed night. What a beautiful life. It's our time, y'all. 7.
I'm Rachel Louise Just with the ABC 15 political team. Glendale taxpayers on the hook for almost $500,000 after the Charlie Kirk Memorial last month. Glendale taxpayers on the hook for nearly $500,000 after the memorial for conservative leader Charlie Kirk at State Farm Stadium in September. The event drawing in some of the biggest political names in the country, everything from members of Congress and conservative influencers to the President of the United States himself.
Your son brought more good and love into this world in his 31 short years than most people, even very, very successful people, can bring in a lifetime.
The bill coming out to $493,000. We hit the streets of Glendale to get taxpayers' thoughts.
It's just a lot of money. I never heard of that before.
Most of the people we talked to surprised by the number.
It's pretty shocking that the weight of it is just on Glendale.
Tammy did suspect the number could be pretty high since one of her family members worked at the event.
Up to them to make this decision. I know it was important for the day to keep safety, considering the situation it was, but I don't know. I feel like they need some support on that.
It cost money, but it was an incredible thing. It had to be done.
Stephen was at the memorial that day and says the money is worth it.
There was a lot of benefits to businesses and everything that went involved with it and everything. It was awesome. It put them majorly on the map.
Most of the cost from the bill coming from police overtime at $351,000. Other costs: fire, $43,700. Ambulance, $8,800. Barricade, $65,000. And sanitation, $7,400.
Just think it's just a lot of money to ask for people to make up for,
The city is trying to recoup the cost for the memorial. It's not clear if they'll be successful. ABC 15 has reached out to Turning Point USA, Kirk's organization, to ask if it plans to reimburse the city, though the city and its taxpayers are ultimately the ones who owe the money. In Glendale, Rachel Louise Just.